Yo guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be reacting to the preview of England versus Ghana. We're going to be reacting to CBS's Sports HQ video on it and their breakdowns. But I'll give you my thoughts on it to start with. I mean, if you look at it from an analytical standpoint, I think it was, 5% that Ghana would win and 83.1% that England will win and a 12% on a draw. But then again, we don't know what could happen. They could go 5 at the back and then, play part of the bus all game. I doubt that's going to be the case, but they could, essentially, which would make it really tough for England to score. I do think England's going to win. I'm not sure what the scoreline will be, but I do think they're going to win. They should win, I think. They're the stronger team. They've got way better players. So realistically, they should win. But we never know. We never know because, like I said, football is very unpredictable. And at times, things can go a different way to what you assumed it would go. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comment section who you got for the World Cup match today. And yeah.
Welcome back to HQ. Group L leaders meet in Boston Tuesday with a knockout berth on the line.
I really do hope that England win the World Cup, though, to be fair, because it's been, 60 years since we've won it. And I think the last time we won it was, 1966. That's a very long time. We need to win it now. I think it's overdue. And we keep coming close, but we just can't win it for some reason. And we always flop right at the end or at the beginning. So hopefully England do take it away and win the World Cup as well. That would be ideal, right? But to be honest, the way Spain's looking, the way Brazil's looking, they're looking really strong. So I'm not sure exactly who's going to win, but I'm hoping England just pull it out. We can have everyone celebrate from England.
For the team that can come away with the full 3 points. 3 Lions found the back of the net 4 times against Croatia. Ghana edged Panama 1-0. England, of course, seeking its first World Cup title since 1966. Back here with JD Dyer to get us ready for England and Ghana. And first and foremost, what stood out to you about Thomas Tuchel's starting 11 and the 4-2 result with Harry Kane finding the back of the net a couple of times?
My favourite word when talking about a head coach, adjustments. I saw the difference in terms of the first half and the second half. I love the fact that the coaching staff are very vocal about the adjustments and holding the England players accountable and wanting to see...
Yeah, I think if Harry Kane comes out firing like he did for Croatia, then I do think we'll have a really good chance on winning against Ghana. Harry Kane's been on top form recently, so hopefully he'll be the one to score for us.
Better from them, wanting them to understand the moment. And sometimes, and I'm telling you now, as someone in my 30s who's watched England my whole life, sometimes you don't really recognise that they kind of shrink in the moment, especially the big moments. Historically, as you just alluded to, we've only won 1 World Cup. And I say we because you see the element of pride coming out, because a nation that's produced so many great footballers over time, I don't really think has turned up enough when they talk about...
Yeah, see, we were all over Croatia. Like 22 shots, 11 shots on goal, 52% possession. Yeah, 8 corners, 4-2. So realistically, we should do well against Ghana. We should beat them, I think, if we do play a similar game to what we did with Croatia. But we never know with England. They're such an unpredictable team, but I'm hoping that they do pull it out. No.
The big moments, that have those signature moments, to herald more than 1 star on your chest. But what I saw was an England team that recognised they're up against a good Croatia team who's top 10 in their own rights in the world football, maybe on a decline in terms of some of their major players at the latter stages of their career, but then really turned it up in the second half. Harry Kane will get the plaudits, and rightfully so, because the goal was important, the response in terms of the penalty was also important, but Jude Bellingham really was the igniter in terms of the energy, the tenacity, the determination to really recognise that England needed to make a statement, especially in their opening game in this World Cup. And I was really happy in terms of the adjustments, as I said before, that were made in the second 45 minutes.
I'm curious to get your thoughts on Bukayo Saka from Arsenal, who'd been dealing with that Achilles injury. Now he came on late, played about 18 minutes, registered an assist against Croatia. But how important is he fully healthy in terms of getting back into the fold? How do you think Tuchel's been managing him so far?
Well, Tommy, I'm going to take my Arsenal hat off for a second. I'm going to show you that I ain't got too much bias. We're still coming off our celebration in terms of what happened with the league title. But what I will say is, in terms of for an England representation, he can actually balance his minutes a little bit better. I was a little bit concerned when I saw the reports come out today about an Achilles injury, because those creep up on you and those also have a long-lasting effects in terms of your tenure. I think sometimes because we've been exposed to Bukayo Saka for so long, we forget he's still a young man in terms of just overall for his career. Now, where he wants to go is still yet to be decided. But what needs to happen in terms of is a management of his body, because there is a lot of minutes that's been on his career so far when you think about when he burst onto the scene about 17, 18 years old.
Yeah, I think Saka is an important player for us, so we can't fully expose him to injuries. I think we should allow him to recover properly, manage his time on the pitch and off the pitch well, because, yeah, if he gets worse, then, you know, during those moments that we might need him against the bigger teams, yeah, we might end up coming up short, I think. So, yeah, I think he's right about that. I do think that he could manage him a bit better, his minutes a bit better. So I think we just got to, help him towards his recovery, right? Hopefully he'll recover soon and we can get back to playing football, because Saka's a huge, important player for us.
So really at this stage, you just want to see a correct management. There can be times when you look at the squad depth of England, and I think about Noni Madueke, who can step up in those big moments. Anthony Gordon, who of course is Barcelona's newest signing. There can be ways that you can utilise Bukayo Saka at the latter half of a tournament to allow him more rest. Now, today is going to be a massive test because, you know, Ghana and England, anytime they go head-to-head, I'm going to tell you now, someone from the UK, all of a sudden the country becomes split. There's 24 hours to build up towards this. And the only way that I can equate it for our US audience...
Yeah, I would say the only way that I see England losing, because Ghana's quite a strong team, right? So if they come out aggressive, will England fumble or will they see it through? Because usually when we have played them in the past, they kind of walked all over us a little bit. So I'm hoping that's not going to be the case this time. And we can actually play around that and, you know, use the good players that we do have to score, right?
Is imagine the USA and Mexico were playing in what was a big game. It doesn't matter if it's a friendly, it doesn't matter if it's a World Cup qualifier, it wouldn't matter if it was the World Cup final. You're going to get the split right down the middle. Fan bases and cultures from two that have been integrated in terms of in one land for a long while. And the bragging rights is the important part here. So you want to make sure that you cement the group, of course. Cementing your status in this group is going to be super important. But also sending a message home to that England are here and can handle some of these big occasions and some of these awkward teams within the group is also an important message to send to your rivals throughout this competition.
I appreciate you adding some context. I'm kind of viewing this match with new eyes right now, talking about the type of competitiveness that we're going to find on the pitch right now. So then to that point, what concerns you about this Ghana team? They got off to a slow start against Panama, but Antoine Semenyo certainly is a player with a lot of quality here. Just take me through sort of tactically what stands out to you.
Love the fact that you brought Antoine Semenyo, who's I feel had one of the best seasons in terms of his career, but also across Europe this year. He's really stood out in terms of the growth. Playing at Bournemouth is one thing, but then being able to grow into a Manchester City shirt and really recognised as one of the key components in what was a successful year for them in terms of domestic double really has shown me the growth.
That's going to be on, right.
And I harp to all of our viewers, please go and do research into who Antoine Semenyo is and the journey that he's had to come on in terms of just from the lower leagues in England to where he is now at the pinnacle of the World Cup. He is really a do or die story. But one thing I want a lot of people to hark out when you talk about the tactical approaches, notice that Ghana don't hold a lot of possession. That's a Panama team that was not expected to cause Ghana a lot of problems in terms of in the final third, but still dictated possession for 62% of it. That tells me that it's a team that understands the transition. And when I think about players like BTA, i.e. Brandon Thomas Asante, who's very quick in the turn, very, very sharp in terms of in and around the box, and looking forward to what he can do in the Premier League next year with Coventry. And of course, Antoine Semenyo, who spoke about, who has all the quality as much as anybody in this tournament. Ghana's a very dangerous team. And if they know how to be tactically disciplined, know how to sit in, and then hit you in the transition, could be a difficult game for England just to manage and could cause a few problems too.
So when we talk about Harry Kane, he is the captain, he is the striker, he is the goal scorer. For this England team to make a deep run, how much do we see Ollie Watkins or Ivan Toney? Or do you think because of the format and the extra game that we can ride Harry Kane if you're an England fan?
You have to ride him. You have to ride him because he is Sir Harry Kane. I'm going to foresight something for him for the future because he is England's greatest striker of a generation, arguably England's straight striker of all time with the records that he's already broken. And so the same way that you speak about Lamine.
Yeah, I agree. I think these games are important to us and we need the best chances possible. So we can't bring in other players, I don't think, to ruin the morale. I think we'll use Harry Kane for our major matches going forward. And then we could use, Ollie Watkins and the rest of them if we need to give them some playing time. But I think Harry Kane needs to be the full starter for most of our matches because we need the firing power. We need the firing power.
Yamal and his responsibility for Spain, or you speak about Kylian Mbappe and his responsibilities for France, or even who we've alluded to already in this conversation, all of the greats like Lionel Messi and his responsibilities for Argentina. The same responsibility falls on the shoulders of Harry Edward Kane. And I love saying his full name because as someone who grew up only 10 minutes from him, played against him as kids, seeing his trajectory and seeing his growth as to what he's become in terms of one of the most decorated strikers of a generation in world football, this is his moment. Because you're now talking about someone who's 32 years old. How many more World Cups are you going to get where you're still in your physical prime, you're still in your physical peak? And you want to see him go out and have one of those moments on the world stage. And I do believe with all of the quality that's around him, all of the blessings that he's had, all the confidence that he's had in terms of over the last 12 to 18 months, and the way that he's been managed in his domestic season by Bayern, this could be the fittest and most confident version of Harry Kane that England have ever been alluded to in a major tournament. So watching all of those variables come together, I'm putting the responsibility on somebody who has definitely the shoulders to carry it.
Get you out of here on this, JD. Give me a prediction for tomorrow.
Oh, big one, big one. I mean, my group chat's already going crazy, double T. The split has been amazing, but I'm never ever going to go against England. I'm always going to turn around and stick with the 3 lines. So I'm going to say to you it's going to be a 2-1. But don't be surprised if you see large spells of that game where Ghana look very, very dangerous. And it's an exciting one back and forth.
Okay. JD Dyer joining us here. We appreciate you. Thanks for hopping on HQ to share your knowledge.
Right, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, guys. I think 2-0 England. I think they're going to beat Ghana. Hoping they'll beat Ghana anyway because we've got a strong side. So as long as everybody plays their role and we play as a team, I don't see us losing. But you never know what could happen. I'm just hoping that we pull it out because we've got the players to do it and we've been on good form so far. So yeah, let me know in the comment section, guys, on who you've got today. I've got England, obviously. So let me know in the comment section who you've got. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.